In the early 1900s, the sun rose over a land rich in culture, tradition, and beauty, Kenya. But beneath that golden sun, something dark was happening. British colonial rulers had taken over the land. They forced Africans to work on European farms, taxed them heavily, and pushed them out of their homes. Amid this oppression, a young boy from Gatundu watched his people suffer. His name was Jomo Kenyatta. Kenyatta grew up in a humble Gikuyu family. He herded goats, listened to the stories of elders, and learned the wisdom of his ancestors. But deep in his heart, he knew that stories alone could not free his people. Knowledge would. As a young man, he sought education, believing it to be the weapon against oppression. He studied, worked hard, and soon joined the Kikuyu Central Association, a group demanding justice and land for Africans. His powerful voice and confidence made him a natural leader. In 1929, Jomo Kenyatta left Kenya and travelled to London, the capital of the British Empire. There, he stood before British officials and spoke boldly about the suffering of his people. He demanded freedom, equality, and the return of land to its rightful owners. But the British government ignored his pleas. He refused to give up. During his years abroad, he studied anthropology and wrote about African culture and identity. He showed the world that African traditions were not backward, but full of wisdom and dignity. After many years, Kenyatta returned home in 1946. Kenya had changed. The people were angry, and a secret movement had begun, the Mau Mau Uprising. The fighters took to the forests to demand independence, shouting for freedom. Though Kenyatta preached peaceful reform, the British accused him of leading the rebellion. In 1952, he was arrested and sentenced to 7 years in prison. But even behind bars, his spirit could not be silenced. Across the villages, people chanted his name, Uhuru na Kenyatta, meaning freedom and Kenyatta. Kenyatta became the symbol of Kenya's struggle. The world began to take notice of the British cruelty and the determination of the Kenyan people. Eventually, the pressure was too great. In 1961, Kenyatta was released from prison. When he returned, thousands flooded the streets, singing and dancing in celebration. 2 years later, on December 12, 1963, Kenya achieved its independence. The British flag was lowered, and the Kenyan flag was raised high for the first time. The crowd roared in joy. Jomo Kenyatta became the first Prime Minister, and later the first President of Kenya. Standing before his people, he spoke the word that became the spirit of the new nation. Harambee, meaning, let's pull together. Under his leadership, Kenyans began rebuilding their country. Schools were built, farms were cultivated, and hope was restored. He urged his people to unite and work hard for their nation's future. Though his presidency faced challenges, Jomo Kenyatta's legacy as the father of the Kenyan nation remains unshakable. He turned the cry for freedom into a reality and gave his people the power to shape their destiny. From a small village boy to a national hero, Jomo Kenyatta's story is a reminder that true freedom is born from courage, knowledge, and unity. Thank you for watching, and please like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more untold African history stories.